Hello, it's me. I'm back. I bet you've all been wondering where I've been. I bet you've all really missed me over this week that I haven't been about. Um, I should add, I haven't just disappeared off the face of the planet. I didn't just give up with these cricket talks. No, I've been away. I've been away on holiday. But we'll get back to that later. Thought I'd do a quick sort of bungled together chat about the cricket, considering we're about to go into one of the most anticipated tests of the year, if not the most anticipated test of the year. So says me. You can quote that if you want. Um, uh, After the excitement of the test that I happened to miss because I was on holiday, again we'll get to that. But yeah, we're going to go into the fourth test. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy me talking about a preview for tomorrow's first day, and indeed the rest of the days of the anticipated fourth test at the Oval. So actually, I should add before we get started, I've been doing a few of these now, and this is the first time I've actually written an agenda of things I should talk about before I get started. Well, I mean, it's technically the first time. I did do it once. I can't remember for which one it was. Probably the one that I felt most up for. Probably the one you liked the most. But I deleted it by mistake, so it was just another ramble off the top of my head. This one's got a bit more of an agenda. I want to start, first of all, by thanking all of you guys out there that have bothered to listen to this. Look at you, all you fancy pants, listening to me waffle on about a sport that you probably know more about than me anyway. It's not just me and my mum listening to this anymore. It's other people, which is very exciting. Thank you for that. I also want to thank my first ever comment on it, Victorious Rufus, who said it was an excellent talk. My last video, the second test review, if you didn't see that one, please do go and check it out if you haven't done so already. And Victorious Rufus, who is a wonderful man, says it's an excellent talk, then the rest of us should believe it's an excellent talk. I do plan on trying to get to Spotify at some point soon. I do have one of these already on Spotify, so if you want to go check out Peter's talk on Spotify, please do. But for now, I'm sticking on YouTube. So yeah, we had the third test whilst I was away. The whole of it, I missed it. Kind of missed it. I was in Wales. I was on holiday. The signal was awful. So particularly on the day where India were bowled out for less than 80, I was at the top of a mountain with very poor signal, and was getting it in waves. I couldn't tell whether it was just the wickets falling very quickly or it was just waves of messages coming from whenever I had signal. I reckon it was kind of a bit of both. But anyone out there that has been to Wales, I recommend Cadir Idris as a mountain. It was a good walk. There's lots of sheer drops. If you're afraid of heights, probably not the one for you. But probably lots of mountains are not for you if you're afraid of heights. Interesting pickle there. Do you go up the mountain when you're afraid of heights? Just stay away from the side? I don't know. Not really cricket related, is it? But I have got to the bit on the agenda that does say just the word cricket. Because apparently this is the bit where I'm going to talk to you actually about cricket rather than just where I've been for the last few days or thanking you or whatever. Anyway, yeah, so cricket. We are 1-1 in the series, which I don't think many would have anticipated coming after the Lord's victory that India had. That capitulation that England had on the fifth day. I don't think many people would have expected it. And likewise, I don't think many people would have expected India to have capitulated as disastrous as they did, particularly on the first and the fourth day. I don't think many people would have predicted such a well-rounded England performance after what happened. What's happened over the last year and what happened at Lord's. But yeah, we had a complete turnaround, and a series level with 2 games to go. The Oval, which is a fantastic venue for Test cricket, now becomes a venue where the stakes remain really high for both captains, Kohli and Root. It's going to be a really fascinating 5 days. Hopefully the weather holds out. I've got a few friends that are going to the Sunday. I want an opportunity to go to day 4 and for this test, but they've both said to me the same thing, that the weather isn't looking great. So hopefully it manages to hold just for this test, or hold enough. Going into the test, England will be without Joss Butler. He's away on paternity leave. It looks like he's not going to take part in the IPL either, which is perfectly understandable. He's one of the cricketers that was recently interviewed in the Sunday Times, saying that he is not against, or he's open to the possibility of the Ashes being postponed because of the COVID restrictions. He's becoming a father. He already is a father. He's a young family, and he's been away because of his cricket commitments, not just to England, but the IPL and the 100. He's been away from his family for quite a long time. So he's maybe has some good reason to be reluctant to fly to Australia and obviously the UAE and not see his young family for a very long time. But anyway, I digress. Joss Butler's set to miss out. Looks like Johnny Bairstow is going to take the gloves. And it's been quite a while. In fact, it was the last time he kept for England was the last Ashes test in 2019. But I think he's justified his performance. He's justified a continued selection. There are plenty of excellent keepers out there, and there's been lots of keepers that have had the gloves since Bairstow last did. I think a lot of people are rooting for Ben Foakes, but he's not got the nod recently. I think he's injured, though, to be fair. Bairstow's not past 50 yet, but he's partnered Joe Root well, particularly. And I think that big score looks like it's around the corner. He actually averages better for England when he's got the gloves on, rather than when he's just a specialist batsman, if you can believe that. It's about 10 runs more he averages. But it's interesting, actually, because with Bairstow taking the gloves, the attention does really turn to the low order and that middle order of England's batting, because after such a long wait, England's top order finally fired. Hamid, Burns, and the man that I've been calling for weeks. If you've been listening to this, you know that David Malan. They set good boundaries and consistent runs, and allowed Joe Root to come in and play at a quicker rate when he came in at number 4. And again, Bairstow, Butler, and Moeen, when they came in, had a bit more expression and freedom to hit. So yeah, the attention does turn to the lower order, because Bairstow will take the gloves. Does this mean he moves down to Butler's position, one place down? And does Ollie Pope come in at number 5? Ollie Pope being the likely replacement for Butler as the specialist batsman. It does make me wonder whether, because of Bairstow's chop and change, continual chop and change, should I say, when he's been part of the England lineup, whether this will make a difference to him if he does move down the order to 6. I hope not. I hope it doesn't mean a change in form. He's looked good. It's one position down. It probably, if anything, gives him a little bit more freedom again, and he likes that freedom, that ability to express himself. We'll see. Someone I think, though, that is probably likely to relinquish their place is Sam Curran. When Chris Oakes was unavailable, when Ben Stokes has been unavailable, he's the only other option left for England. In reality, he's the highest option in terms of previous experience in the England team. He's not quite fired with weighting, quite quiet with the ball, not getting to swing as much as he normally has done, and that's been his real strength, is getting that left arm in swing to the right hander. Not quite worked in his favour this series, and he's not quite fired either with the bat. He got a king pair at Lords. It's not quite been his series, but Woakes is back. Woakes is back now, and he is not only just the loveliest man in English cricket to have ever existed. He is also a more than capable replacement for Sam Curran. In fact, if you think about it, he's probably going to strengthen the attack. He will really enjoy the conditions at the Oval. He is a perfect seam swing bowler in English conditions, should I say? And I think he will be raring to go. If you think about it, Woakes was the MVP in, what was it, 2019, 2020? He was the most valued player of the England team, and he's barely played, particularly in 2021. Barely played. So he'll be raring to go. Interestingly enough, I think that the bowling options is probably where England are once again in quite a strong position. They've got Mark Wood coming back, but Robinson, Anderson and Overton were fantastic when it came to the Headingley test. Robinson looks right ready for test cricket already, considering he's had 2 series, one and a bit series. Well, no, he didn't even have a whole New Zealand series. He's not even had a whole series of test cricket, and he looks right the part. Anderson is Anderson. I can't say any more. You've probably read and viewed and listened to enough about Jimmy Anderson to know that his spells in the first and second innings in Headingley were out of this world. And Overton, I think, despite having 3-fers in both innings, was kind of outshone because Robinson and Anderson were so good. I wonder whether there might be a swap for Mark Wood to come in. Maybe Overton gets the chop in this case because of how good Robinson and Anderson were. But with the rest in rotation, it literally could be any of them. It could be any of them, even though England probably don't want to. The reason why they probably don't want to is what I'm going to come on to next. And I've written here on a little bit of a note as well on my agenda, or what I've written before, should I say, is the consistency. England are going to look for consistency now because there'll be deserved positivity flowing through the camp. But there needs to be that air of caution too, particularly coming from Chris Silverwood and those senior coaches and Joe Root and Jimmy Anderson, the senior players. Because before this match, the team hadn't won since January. It was the first test of the India series in India. That was our last victory. And since then, we were pretty much trounced in India. New Zealand showed by they're the best test team in the world, and India have been, let's face it, at Trent Bridge, at Lords, India were on top. There have been brighter moments through that time. Joe Root's revival with the bats, 100-100, like I said just previously, Ollie Robinson coming into the team. But we've been exposed quite a few times. The problems that have been around English cricket, particularly with the bat, have been exposed particularly in this series, particularly in 2021. The problems have been really exposed. So with this excellent win where tactics were right, bowling was spot on, batting, we had runs at the top of the order. Finally, we can't throw this all away. We've got to put this as almost like a bedrock and say, right, well, we've got this performance. We move on from here, and we get better from here. India will not want to come out and play as poorly as they did at the Oval. Kohli said that the defeat hurt his team. They all want to hurt us back because of that. We can't rise to it. We can't let the emotion get to us like it did at Lords, because that will help India. India thrive off that emotion. Burns, Hamid, Malan, they were excellent, but they've got to go out there and do it again. That's why Root is so fantastic for England. We rely on him so much is because he is consistent. He is the consistency in the team. So they've got to aim. So Burns, Hamid, Milan particularly have got to aim for the same again, because we haven't had runs at the top of the order in such a long time. Root is benefiting from that. The bowlers, Ollie Robinson and Jimmy Anderson, look in form, so they've got to go out there and do it again. It's no good having the series be 3-4-1, and we can say, oh well, we had that one good game at Headingley. It's got to be the same again. I think England fans, as much as they want to win, I think England fans, after such a dreary few months following the Test team, would be more than happy to see really close at Old Trafford and the Oval coming up. Would be really happy to see really close fought cricket. If we don't win, it will hurt, but if we're making progress towards the Ashes, I think there'll be people out there that will be happier. If we just get trounced again, heads will roll, as they say. If there was a 606 for cricket, there'd be people on there calling for Joe Root's head. I don't know. I think that's a good place to stop. I think I'm running out of things to say. So I'll stop. Thank you for sticking around, if you have stuck around. and haven't continued to wonder why on earth I wobble on for such a long time. But if you have done, please like, subscribe, comment, and do share. Please tell your friends, your family, your colleagues, people on the street, anyone that I'm here, please. Until next time, goodbye.